Hello, hello. It has been a minute since I've been live on YouTube, and I am so excited to be back with this series. Protection from harm has four components in it. We're going to get into um, protecting, no, prioritizing physical and psychological safety in the workplace, and we're going to get into enabling rest. And then we're going to talk about supporting mental health. And then on the fourth day, because it's a 4-day series, we're going to talk about operationalizing your DEI norms and policies and laws. Why are we doing this? Because the Surgeon General came out with a framework really kind of detailing something that I've been pursuing for the past 10 years. And all of a sudden, bam, a whole framework. And so I get to follow that and, lead people, Black career women who are enduring job stress, um, to safety, to express their needs, to not be victimized, to reach their health equity. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. It's end of year. Hope you are all ready for some days off work, enjoying it with your family. So I'm going to just pull up my PowerPoints. I have live chat off. So if you have questions, you can leave them below. But I will tell you at the end how to better reach me if you do have questions regarding this content. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is day number 1 of 4. We are in a series called Protection from Harm. Tonight we are discussing Blackness shouldn't hurt, and we're going to be talking about the 4 must-dos to stop the pain right now. I'm Glenee, the COPE consultant. I help Black career women eliminate job stress in 40 days and enjoy luxuries reserved for the wealthy. Okay. If you are a Black woman who has a job, a career, something that you went to college for, something that you have been in long term, you do not have aspirations to be an entrepreneur, and you are paycheck dependent and experiencing job stress, tonight's information is particularly for you. Stay close to what I have for you, what I want to share with you tonight. Ask questions and participate in the way that we lay out for you to ask questions and participate, because you should not be enduring any job stress at all, other than just, meeting some short-term demand. But if you are enduring job stress that is chronic in nature, and you are going to the doctor and you're asking, and wondering and hoping things stop, then this information is for you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm so glad that we got a chance to meet, and hopefully you can see that there is some information here for you, some help here for you. So job stress is the number one reason pre-pandemic employees saw their doctor. So 75 to 95% of all doctor's office visits pre-pandemic was for job-related stress. So you already know that stress is the cause of disease, right? Job stress is no different. You allow job stress to go on for too long, then it begins to affect your chemicals, your cortisol levels, and your dopamine and your endorphins, and all these things start going haywire, and you don't have an outlet to meet that challenge and to eliminate it, because you don't have the information that you need to know. And then you're at work, you really don't know how to do it. But because you don't know how to do it, that chronic stress stays at a constant state, and it will continue to do what it's supposed to do, which is cause damage. So Like I said, job stress is no different than a regular stress, a tear, or some repetitive stress injury that you need to address, and you need to stop the pain before it causes disease. Job stress will lead to mental, physical, and spiritual diseases. Okay. Mental, physical, and spiritual diseases is what job stress, unaddressed and uneliminated job stress, will lead to mental, physical, and spiritual diseases. Um, Going back to that study that I was talking about, the 75 to 95% of all doctor's office visits pre-pandemic was for job-related stress. I mean, like you can't get any higher than that today. I'm sure it's even more. However, back then it was known that 75% of all diseases are from unhealthy emotions. So just imagine being a Black woman going into a doctor's office and you're talking about job stress and you're kind of vague about it, or you may not even be using the words job stress. You can just be having an eruption of acne or weight gain, or you know um, drinking a little bit too much, your blood pressure high, whatever symptoms you experience from not addressing job stress. When you go into the doctor's office, they don't there's not a medical model for job stress, so let me just put it that way. So they're just listening to your complaints, your physical complaints, and then they'll prescribe you a medication to take care of that symptom. So you don't have any more complaints of a physical symptom, but the issue is still at large. You still have a Goliath to slay. And you may not want to slay it because you got your benefits and your paycheck and all these things attached to this job that you may love or may not love. I don't know. You only know that. But the point is that you have an issue and it's causing you pain. And what are you going to do about relieving that pain so that you can heal? This is about health equity. This is about preventing Black families and Black women from death, disease, and poverty, health disparities becoming statistics of America's public health crises, right? If 75% of all diseases are from unhealthy emotions, we know this. We know that we're talking to our doctors. We know that we're talking to our therapists. We know that we're talking to our friends, but nobody is providing you a solution. No one has the right pieces to take you on a journey from pain to freedom, right? So you go into the doctor's office and you go in for the pain and you join in with the 75% of other individuals who were left with unhealthy emotions and left with an unaddressed job stress situation when, you know, you want to stop the damage. The point is to stop the damage, okay? So I said 75% of diseases are from unhealthy emotions, and then yet there is health disciplines that do not stop this damage from happening from you. So you go to the therapist, you go to the doctor, and they will prescribe you to balance, or they will prescribe you to be mindful. They would tell you to, reduce the stress, but they don't ever tell you how to reduce the stress. They don't, and my philosophy over here is to eliminate the stress. I don't believe in reducing. Um, I manage my life. I don't manage stress. I eliminate stress from my life because I'm the master of who I am, and I know what the damages are from chronic job stress is burnout. And you don't want to burn out from your job, right? You don't want to burn out from your job. You want to be bold, and you want to be professional, and you want to be able to ask for the things that you want in the workplace with an expectation of receiving it. So, after 30 years of industry experience and 18 years of nursing experience and 6 years of retaliation wisdom, I want you to discover how Black women just like you are eliminating job stress in 40 days and enjoying luxuries reserved for the wealthy. How does that sound to you? How does that sound to eliminate job stress, the number one cause of death, disease, and poverty for our people? And if I hadn't said it, I specialize in workplace discrimination, healthcare bias, and burnout, employee burnout. The freedom and the liberty that comes with eliminating that stressor. And that stressor is because we are Black, we are women, and there's just this profound amount of racism throughout the industries, and they, target us. You ever wonder why? I don't talk too much about racism because I feel like it's worthless because we want to focus on overcoming it, right? We want to focus on the process that it requires for us to do to get over institutional racism. And so that's kind of what my whole goals are, is to help other people do as I have done, to help other people do as I have helped my clients do. I just really want to be able to make an impact in your life, in your work life, to help you to bring work life harmony. Okay. So, as I opened, according to the Surgeon General, there are 5 components for mental well being. Okay. It is for protection for harm, we have prioritizing physical and psychological safety. Then we have enabling rest. And then we have supporting mental health. And then the fourth one for protection for harm is operationalizing your DEI, a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility norms. And then also your workplace policy regarding anti-discrimination, anti-bias laws. And then also like knowing what your rights are, your state and your federal rights, using those things to your benefit. Um, so let's just get into the prioritizing workplace. Yeah, I have to say this. So there's a mindset that someone else is supposed to give you your rights. Someone else is supposed to do these things for you. But the Lord wants you to know right now that you have rights and you have to pursue them. You have to engage in them. They are yours. Okay. And fear of pursuing your rights is not going to sit well with Him at the end of time. Okay. Is our world is passing away as we speak. Things are changing at a drastic rate, and you have to decide today who you are going to worship. Okay? So, we all know that the enemy is after the mind, honey. Have you seen the mental health statistics? You have to get this mental right. You have to see your role as in employment a little bit differently than what you're seeing it as right now. And the Lord also wants for you to know right now that He knows that you're fearful of losing, and He knows that you're fearful of homelessness. But He also wants you to know that when you hold on to those things, you're going to lose those things. And in the process of losing those things, you're going to have shame and regret that's going to keep you from turning to Him. Operationalizing your rights in the workplace is a difficult task to do because it is scary, and I've done it. And that is the reason why I'm here, so that I can provide you with a health equity plan to see you through. Okay. So that you don't have to engage and endure in the same way that I did, that your path can be a lot easier, but you still have to be an active participant in it. Okay? Because the word says that he's never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. So if that's the case, who are all those people on the street begging for bread? What happened to them? They were once gainfully employed. They once had medical insurance. They once had sponsored employer and sponsored benefits where they went to go see their doctors for workplace injuries and for workplace stress issues. And something happened to them. I experienced what happened to them, and I don't want that to happen to anyone else. So, this is why we're here tonight talking about what it is you can do to prioritize your workplace physical and psychological safety. Um, Enable your rest, normalize and support mental health, and operationalize norms, policies, and programs to make sure that you stay what I call it in the standard population, that you stay gainfully employed. Because once you fall out of the standard population, then it's really difficult to get back because there are no corporate safety nets, you guys. There are no corporate safety nets. You have to trust, and you have to believe that you are more important than the corporation's bottom line. And you are. You are more important. So, what can it mean to prioritize workplace physical and psychological safety? Let's speak briefly about the physical things. Like those are things like ergonomics and asking for help with heavy lifting and using your legs to pick things up and not your back, and having the ergonomic specialist come in and check your work area and make sure that you're sitting properly and all of those things. Those things are a few ways that your company utilizes to prevent workplace injury, right? But what if you're already injured? What if you already had an injury? And what if that injury is now changing your gait? What if that injury is now causing you to not be able to do things the way that you used to do them? And you need a little extra help, more than just asking for somebody to come and share the weight of a heavy box. You may need something like an accommodation. Then what? Are you bold enough to ask for those things? Because, you know, that can cause, retaliation. But you voicing your concern about what it is that you need is very important, particularly when you work in an environment, or when you work for a company who is legally mandated to provide these things for you. I think I'm not going to get into all of the particularities of those things right now. I really want to just kind of stay focused on prioritizing physical and psychological safety. So, what if you need something like an accommodation? Are you willing to ask for that? Do you know about the interactive process and how to engage in that? How to ask for what it is that you need, and how to um, share with your employers what it is that you need to get your work done. And I think that asking is the number one most important thing that you can do. Um, because when you don't, it leaves violence on the inside of you, because a lot of us don't ask for what we need because we're afraid of the outcome, or we're afraid of the backlash. But that same backlash that we're afraid of engaging in the physical world at work, it's the same energy that's kind of going to be stuck on the inside of you. So that, you have to have a release. You can't just leave all of that negativity and that violence on the inside of you, right? So you have to be able to express yourself and say what it is that you need and see what happens. You have to see what happens. You have to know what you're working with. You have to test the spirit, so to speak. Okay. So what if something happens at work and you're uncomfortable with and causes you a moral injury or some type of moral distress? Then your psychological safety is at risk, right? So, what do you do with this information, or what do you do with this knowledge that something is going on in the workplace that is causing maybe increased morbidity or increased mortality to patients, or you know civil issues with communities that you serve if you're a police officer, just so that you could increase profit for your company? These are moral distress and moral injury issues, and I know that a lot of people are torn between what to do with the moral injury, moral distress, and also being paycheck dependent and also dealing with job stress. So this is when you have to be able to sit down and with yourself and commune with your own heart to find out what your next steps are. Some people should quit jobs. Some people should exercise their rights. Well, all people should exercise their rights, but not everyone who's experiencing something in the workplace is going through discrimination. But if you feel that you're going through discrimination, that's enough to attach to what it is that you're experiencing, and you have to say it. You have to become vulnerable and say it. But the psychological safety, you might need to leave, and I know that we think about our benefits and we think about all these things, but then you also have to think about the destination of your soul and the things that you are participating in for a paycheck. Like, please stop doing something strange for a piece of change, okay? Please. And so, and I also like to tell people about some of my students, I like to say to them that when moral distress happens, you have to understand that your employer just changed. And what I mean is that no one has the right to trespass on your mind, in your mental. No one has the right to be there. And so I love employment, you guys. I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. Like, all I ever wanted to do was to be a critical care nurse. I could have retired as a critical care nurse, but something happened that pivoted me from the bedside. And that something was a small, I mean, it turned into be a ginormous injury, but it was a repetitive stress injury, something that was simple, something that took forever to heal, something that sent me into discrimination that I didn't even know it was possible. And that something opened my eyes and revealed to me the causes of America public health crises, particularly in the workplace against Black families, Black women. And I just want to help you all disrupt that, bring this knowledge and information to you so that you can make the best decision for yourself that is informed and impactful, that um, you don't have to have misplaced fear, right? Sitting down with me for 45 minutes to an hour helps to re-engage and helps to put you on focus of what you desire for your for you. What do you desire for you? Whether it's the job or whether it's a promotion or whatever the case may be. That is something that we can talk about in a discovery call. But I want you to know that it's very important that you raise your voice in the workplace if you are experiencing job stress. Job stress is not just because everybody is experiencing job stress, don't make it normal. Okay. It's not normal to live in chronic job stress. It's not normal to go to the doctor and complain about job stress and no one gives you that right information to eliminate it. It's not normal. It might be routine and it may be the status quo, but it is not normal. Okay. It is not normal for you to be exhausted and tired and unable to do your life. Okay. So raising your voice is important because you want to know who is available to help you, right? You want to know that. You want to know who's available to help you because I want to ask you a question. Would you consider workplace drama a treatable medical condition? Would you consider that to be something that can be treated with medical models and medication, like your workplace drama and discrimination and you know, retaliation? Like, are those things really belong in medicine? I don't think so. I wouldn't consider it that way, even though it was the only avenue that I had when I was experiencing chronic job stress that was from workplace discrimination. And when I voiced my concerns, and I'm quite articulate about the way that I was expressing myself, and I'm very astute, I still faced medical racism and still faced um, medical healthcare bias and systems bias, and I was still expected to deny my spirit of truth. And Christians, I want you to know that the workplace is where it's going to be a big fall if we don't begin to put our health first in the workplace and allow the Lord, who is the giver of rest, equity, and justice, and who is our healer, an opportunity to do exactly what He has promised you to do, the good part of what He had promised you to do, because His word is His word. And when we disobey Him, even in the workplace, and I remember I remember when I was in the throes of what I was experiencing, and I was like, Lord, you can't be asking me to give up my six-figure job, my benefits, and all of these things. And He certainly was. He certainly was. But what happened after that was just an amazing experience. And it takes a development of trust and mindset and faithfulness, and hopefully you can learn from me. I know there aren't many people out there who have endured to overcome employment discrimination using the word of God, but I have, and I have helped other people do the same. So I'm just here to keep trying to replicate and just keep trying to duplicate and just keep trying to trust in the process myself, because I'm not an anomaly, and I'm not going to let my family, my people fall in this area. Health equity is why I'm here to serve, and I'm gonna serve in this arena. Um, yeah, I'm excited for your possibilities. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited. So, why is it important for Black career women to eliminate job stress? Why? We said it. We said it because all stress leads to disease, right? And we winning in high blood pressure, we winning in obesity, we winning in diabetes, we winning in hair loss. Child, we winning in everything. We even winning in projected to be zero income in the year 2032, 2053, so 30 years from now. That's we winning. We winning everywhere. We went in the wrong place, but I want to help you all to turn this ship around. You don't have to shipwreck. You don't have to follow the status quo. There are other opportunities for you. There is the kingdom for you, and it is a very real place, and I know plenty of people living in it, and I want to be able to help you understand what your role is in the workplace when you are enduring job stress. Your role is to eliminate that. You don't have to balance it. You don't have to be mindful of it to the point where you just like, oh, okay, it's here and I just have to tolerate it. No, you don't have to tolerate it, sis. You can actually eliminate it. And these things will have such a significant growth in your esteem, in um your provision and your ability to create. You guys, I told you I always only ever wanted to be an employee. I never wanted to be, I never had in my mind to be an entrepreneur. I never had in my mind to write two books. In writing my third book, I never had in my mind to create perfumes and to do things that are creative. And I can still go back to work because I didn't allow the system to take away from me. Some of you guys are caught up in workers' compensation issues where you're kind of tinkering on, oh, I need this workers' compensation check, but then you have to come into agreement with the disability. And if you have a right to work with a disability in a gainful position, why would you even let that be? Like, it's, you have to think about the things that are happening through you. Okay. And the first thing you have to do is be able to protect your mental health. So anytime you're experiencing job stress, you be like, mm-mm. Any stress, any role related stress, you should just stop and pause for a moment and think about what it is that is happening to you, and if this opposition is an opportunity for you to do great things. And the answer is probably yes. When you protect your mental health and when you raise your voice in the workplace, it exposes and it reveals the spirit behind what you are working through or dealing with. It opens up opportunities. The opposition grows you and it empowers you, okay? And encourages you. Let me encourage you to make sure that you are always prioritizing your workplace. Safety and your psychological safety on the job. You hear throughout the internet all the time that no job is worth your mental health. This is so true. And I will never tell a person to quit anything. But what I will encourage you to do is to assess your situation and make a judgment call of what it is that you're experiencing, and think about what your vision, if your vision to your life is attached to this, you're experiencing. Because one reason why I would never tell anybody to quit a job before even really assessing the situation is because I would hate to tell you to leave your rights on the table. When you walk away from your rights, sister, you walking into slavery. And that's just the bottom line. We slaves didn't have rights. We have rights. And I know that we're in a mindset, that you all are in the mindset sometimes, that somebody else should do it. That's somebody else's job. But it's not. It would be nice. It would be nice if that was to happen. It would be nice if there were more laws, to help you not feel upset about anything in the workplace and keep you from persevering and moving forward. However, you're not being a good steward over the rights and the laws that you have right now. You have to be a good steward over what you have right now. And it is our responsibility as the person who is in want of a right to actually access that right. And if someone is standing in your way of accessing your rights based on your skin color, based on your race, based on your hair, you know, all of those things, everything about your blackness should not hurt, right? Blackness should not hurt. However, it is certainly a target in the workplace, and it certainly is an opportunity for you to allow God to use you, because our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places at these policies. And that's our job. That is our job. And you can disagree with it if you want to. You don't have to believe me, go read your word. Believe God. Because Black women who tolerate job stress because of fear of job loss, fear of homelessness, fear of poverty and disease become just another burnt out public health statistic. And this is what we want to avoid here at RX for Life. We want to be able to encourage you, to empower you to use your rights. The Surgeon General has come out with a framework explicitly asking you to do these things, because the outlook is grim if you do not learn how to operationalize and protect yourself from harm, and to do all of these things. Like, while your companies are continuing to go to meetings and continuing to do the things that they need to do, and they've been doing it for years, right? And nothing really changes. But you, the employee, the one person who is struggling, dealing with job stress that is so surmounting, that is just breaking your shoulders, what are you going to do? Who's going to help you? I will. I'll help you. I'll stand in the gap for you, sis. I definitely will. It would be great if there was some law providing protection from harm, some ally to help you when you are facing the hardest time of your life. I just want you to know to be a good steward to the workplace policies that you have right now, the state and federal laws that you have right now. Seeing those laws to the end, we're talking about protection from health. Yeah, we're going to talk about operationalizing these policies and norms on day 4, which is going to be Saturday, is Christmas Eve. So why is it important for Black career women to prioritize their physical and psychological safety at work? Because when we do not, we lose, okay? I don't want you losing. As a community, I don't want you losing. As an individual, I do not want you losing, okay? I want to offer you an opportunity to get the help that you need, okay? Real-time help that you need. I want to share with you my 30 years of industry knowledge, my 18 years of nursing experience, and my 6 years of retaliation wisdom, so that you do not fall victim to the system, okay? So that you learn how to ask for the things that you need in the workplace, so that you do not get fired without recourse, so that you do not be dependent on your paycheck, but dependent on your Father in heaven, okay? Help you to get to the point where you are practicing faith in the workplace. That mustard seed of faith, not even a whole lot of faith, just a little bit. And you already have that. You know. And because you know, he know. And because he know that you know and you don't do, that's trouble, right? So if you're willing to sit with a health equity expert who specializes in workplace discrimination, bias, and burnout, please schedule your next step discovery call. The first 10 to schedule and complete a next step will receive Covered. Covered is our luxury perfume oil. It's 60 mLs of natural perfume. I believe that natural perfume is the missing link to better stress management, right? There's not a servant in the Bible. Isn't that beautiful? It's not a servant in the Bible who did not anoint themselves with oil to be in compliance and to be in sacrifice and to incense to the Lord as they were going through hard times in their life. Not one, not one. I mean, Jesus even had hyssop on the cross, right? So come on now, at his birth, frankincense. Was it Ruth who bathed in myrrh? Come on now. There's something special about it. And I know it sounds real simple, but I've been using these essential oils since I was enduring chronic job stress. And kind of let me back that up. So I began using essential oils when I was working in the ICU, and it really helped to center me. But as I was enduring employment discrimination, those 4 years at this last job, I went through discrimination before at another job, another 2 years somewhere else. But I wish that I had known about these oils, right? So I want to talk more with you about the use of oils in day two tomorrow, enabling rest. I don't want you to try to rest without using an essential oil, but the first 10 who schedule a next step discovery call will get a bottle of covered, a value of $225 because these oils are not cheap. And this is a 30% fragrance load with the best of a few, more than a few essential oils. I'll go over them with you another day, but they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and they're workplace friendly as well. I've been studying the effects of the environment for the last 13 weeks using some of these oils, and it's just very positive reviews. I'll just need for you to pay $10 shipping and handling. And that's it. Do you have any questions? If so, I will leave my email address info at your RX for life, or better yet, you can just go to the link in the top here on YouTube and go to my website, yourrxforlife.com, and fill out the contact form and leave me a question there. Okay. And then I will be sure to answer it. And if you want to schedule your appointment, the link is in the captions, and I look forward to meeting with you. You guys have a wonderful evening, okay? Tell a friend and share this. Bye bye.